Bashar al-Assad, the president of Syria, faced increasing opposition from both domestic and international fronts. His regime was accused of human rights violations, leading to widespread protests across the country. The Arab Spring, which began in 2010, inspired Syrians to demand political reforms and greater freedoms. Assad's government responded with a brutal crackdown, escalating the conflict into a full-scale civil war. International powers became involved, with the United States, Russia, and regional players like Iran and Saudi Arabia supporting different factions. This turned Syria into a battleground for proxy wars. The Syrian economy suffered immensely due to the ongoing conflict, with infrastructure destroyed and millions of Syrians displaced. Humanitarian crises emerged, drawing global attention and aid efforts. Despite numerous attempts at peace talks and ceasefires, the conflict persisted. Assad's hold on power weakened as rebel groups gained control over significant territories. The rise of extremist groups like ISIS further complicated the situation, as they seized large areas of Syria, prompting international military interventions. Russia's military intervention in 2015 bolstered Assad's regime, providing crucial support that helped regain lost territories and shift the balance of power. The Syrian government, with Russian backing, launched offensives to reclaim key cities, gradually regaining control over much of the country. International diplomatic efforts continued, with the United Nations and other organizations attempting to broker peace and address the humanitarian crisis. Assad's regime faced sanctions and isolation from Western countries, but maintained alliances with Russia and Iran, ensuring continued support. The conflict saw numerous war crimes and atrocities, with reports of chemical weapon use by Assad's forces, drawing condemnation and calls for accountability. As the war dragged on, the Syrian population endured immense suffering, with many fleeing as refugees to neighboring countries and beyond. The international community remained divided on how to resolve the conflict, with some advocating for Assad's removal and others prioritizing stability over regime change. Despite the challenges, Assad managed to retain power, largely due to the support from Russia and Iran and the fragmented nature of the opposition. The situation in Syria remained complex, with ongoing skirmishes and a fragile peace, as the country struggled to rebuild and recover from years of devastation. The fall of Bashar al-Assad, once seen as imminent, became uncertain as his regime adapted to survive amidst the shifting dynamics of the Syrian conflict.